Hello, hello. I haven't done these in a while, haven't I? Like, not at all. Okay, I'm sorry about that. But it doesn't matter, because I'm back. And all we do here is go back, 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 back. Okay, okay. I got a request from one of my friends to talk about instant gratification and the consequences of instant gratification and why you should do delayed gratification. You might be thinking, what is these two terms? What do they mean? What is these two terms, car? 100 emoji, fire emoji. Alright. Instant gratification, right? Let's talk about gratification first. Gratification is the feeling of, yes, I did something and I feel great, right? Pleasure. Instant gratification is stuff that get that instantly, right? Well, delayed gratification is stuff that'll take time for you to get there. But the thing is that you might think, oh, instant gratification is so much better if you haven't heard of this before, because oh my god, you just get it instantly. You don't have to wait. But guess what? You don't realize the trade-offs from both, right? Instant gratification is where you it's basically there's always bad side effects to it. You know what I mean? Instant gratification is the feeling you get from when, for example, you just scroll TikTok for, I don't know, 8 hours. That's actually disappointing how most people scroll for 8 hours. You can get so much done in that much amount of time. Whatever, who cares? Okay, you scroll for 8 hours and you get that dopamine hit. You know what you feel afterwards, after that? A plummet of dopamine, right? A plummet, and it goes below your baseline, so you feel terrible. Same goes for eating an unhealthy snack, doing drugs, watching pornography. Don't do that, by the way. Very bad habits to get into. Don't do that. While delayed gratification is something like working out a bunch, going to the gym, playing music, practicing something, writing, you know what I mean? Anything where you have to put in effort and then later on it'll equal a result, you know what I mean? Which gives you a lot, like there's a lot of pain and then there's like a spike of like a lot of pleasure, but that pleasure is actually good, you know what I mean? It's actually like, oh look, I'm happy. I actually got something with my life done. You know what I mean? So where does this all stem from? It stems from dopamine. Okay, when you can understand that concept of dopamine, then you can actually understand how all this stuff works. Then you can understand addiction, right? The reason why you do stuff like, I don't know, weed, let's just use it as an example. The reason why you do that is because you're hunting for dopamine, right? You want to replace that habit with something else, okay? Replace it with let's say you want to start reading. Replace it with reading. It will take a while though because your brain's so used to reading. Okay, just read any book. Like any book. Okay, and start there. Okay, and I would say that's probably yeah. It works most of the time actually. Like there's a lot of things that goes into addiction. Okay, but like with that hunt for dopamine while you're like, you have to replace it. That's why a lot of addictions exist actually, because it's just dopamine. Your brain does it because it's a dopamine hit. You need to be able to control your brain from doing that, you know what I mean? You need to meditate more, and you need to kind of look at the consequences, to be like, okay, if I do weed, this will just make me, like, this will get rid of my masculinity, and I won't be very happy anymore, you know what I mean? It will cause me lung cancer in the future. It will give me a lot of massive problems. It makes me lazy, So I'm not going to do this because I don't want to sacrifice my future. This will take a while, by the way, but once it starts working well, then, like, you'll be fine. So yeah, addiction's all down to dopamine, by the way. If you want to stay away from this stuff, you want to do a dopamine detox, which if you don't know what that is, it's basically where you stay away from all the dopamine-giving substances, like weed, adult videos, content in general, you know what I mean? Like just stay away from your phone, all that kind of stuff. And just meditate, focus on like something important, you know what I mean? And do that for like a week. Be disciplined. And then notice how you feel after you do the bad habit. You'll go, oh, this doesn't feel right. What the hell? It doesn't feel as good. The only reason why it feels good is because you're used to it. You know what I mean? That's the reason why people still do weed, even though they know it's bad, because they're so used to it. They're like, that they still continue to get that dopamine hit, but like once they're out of it for a week and they do it again, they're like, oh wow, this doesn't feel good at all. This doesn't feel good anymore. You know what I mean? There's not much pleasure in this at all. So that's something important to consider when it comes to like how instant gratification works with your dopamine hits, you know what I mean? And dopamine is very important because that is your attention span right there. You're sacrificing your attention span just so you can feel pleasure. That's why I don't do much instant gratification at all, so I can have like that monster focus. And by the way, this helped so much in schoolwork. I was always ahead of everyone in my attention, you know? I got my work done before everyone else. You know, that would give me better results. My focus is just through the roof. You know what I mean? Compared to everyone else who like scrolls Instagram or TikTok on their phone or whatever, they sit down and do nothing. Sad people, you know. It takes them up to like more than 2 weeks to get their assignment handed up, and the teachers complain. You know what I mean? That's why your focus is so important for like literally anything. And discipline goes there as well. Okay. If you do more delayed gratification, your discipline goes up. Okay, that's why you should do more delayed gratification. That's why I want to stay away from video games. But the thing is I have an ego in prison life. it's just ego. That's a problem. But yeah, you need to do more delayed gratification so your discipline gets up, and because you're feeling more pain, you know, your dopamine baseline goes upwards. You know what I mean? So you end up feeling a lot better than usual. You know, that's I'm pretty sure that's why a lot of modern people don't feel happy at all. You don't have depression. You never did. It's just that you're doing all the wrong things every single day because society conditioned you that way, you know? You're looking at your phone because your mum bought you a phone at like 5 or something. You know, you're goddamn doing drugs because your friends introduced that to you in high school. Good job, bro. Wow. Great friends, bro. Terrible. And you're always seeking validation from people because that's how your mum raised you. Okay, so I think this is like just the leading cause of like modern depression, I guess you can call it. Now let me do you need to do a test for me, right? What I want you to do a good habit first, like reading, meditating especially. Actually do 3 in a row: meditating, reading, and then do a workout. And then what I want you to do is do a bad habit right after that, right? You know, touch yourself. I don't know. If you still do that, that is. Okay. Don't do it if you're not addicted, because I'll just pull you back in. And literally feel how, like, not pleasurable that is anymore. Not pleasurable whatsoever. You know what I mean? You could use with food as well. Eat something healthy, like a carrot, then eat eggs, then eat, like, another veg, because veg is probably, like, the hardest thing to eat, but I love it, okay? Then eat, I don't know, chocolate, and go like, oh wow, this doesn't feel that good at all. You know, like chocolate does not feel good after you just ate so much good stuff. You know what I mean? It's because of dopamine. Literally, that's all it is. Okay, chocolate tastes terrible, but it tastes good because of dopamine. Literally, that's how it works. So perform that exercise right now, and just write it down in your journal. Write down the results, and then you'll understand how like wonderful like delayed gratification is and how good it is for your life, like legit. Here's something that's interesting about addicts basically, right? When you tell them that their habit is bad, they feel repulsed, like very repulsed. It's weird, but they just do. Why is that? It's because they're so addicted to it that they end up defending that thing, you know what I mean? Because they feel great when they do it, you know? But they don't feel great actually. It's just like in the moment, like yeah, and then they stop and go like, oh, I feel terrible now, you know. That's the problem. Okay, they don't realize how bad what they're doing is, you know, and they find so much pleasure out of it that they're willing to defend it all the time. That's why whenever you go to a porn addict and tell them pornography is bad for you, they're just like, it's good for your prostate. No, it's not, you idiot. Stupid mong. That's why whenever you go to a drug addict, you tell them weed's bad for you. It'll cause you so much problems in the future. They go like, no, it chills me out. It's good for you actually. I encourage kids to take it, by the way. Disgusting. That's why whenever you go up to someone who's addicted to junk food, do they have any defenses for that? No, maybe they'll just be like, body positivity, blah, blah, blah. Okay? Like, don't... That's the problem. They just encourage other people to continue to do these things because they find pleasure in it. That's so stupid. But yeah, that's just something I wanted to talk about, I guess, in this video, you know? But yeah, instant gratification causes addiction and it will kill you. Delayed gratification causes discipline and it will raise you. Okay? That's a good quote. Okay. Anyway, literally everyone has talked about this concept. Let's decide to get it out there because friendly's a little bit of help. Anyway, make sure you do a little bit of trolling and subscribe.